350.
Oh, we're not doing an intro?
No, not this week. We're gonna skip it because the IT guy broke it.
Well, I mean, then do we really need to do a regular intro, or is that like
I
we just
mean, we can just kind of,
fuck it?
yeah.
Okay. Just kidding. Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and everything that comes after Endgame. And this week, as always, it's me, the wild hair wonder, Josh Tankersley,
What up? What up? What up?
and the dude who also wears a hat every week, just like me, the Wakandan wonder,
Hey,
Ruik Bajay.
What up?
The Wakandan wonder.
yeah, I
That's
like
nice.
that. That's dope.
That's nice.
No. You know, it's funny. There's a joke I saw online that you guys probably wouldn't get, but it basically had two people. An American girl introduces her Nigerian friend to a Nigerian guy and goes, "Yo, check out my Nigerian friend." He goes, "For real?" And he starts calling a few Nigerian things like, "You eat this? Yeah. You dance to this? Yeah. You like this?" And he goes, "Yes." And they're like, "Oh!" And then the American girl goes, "What kind of flavor?" And they both look at her and go, "Get out."
Wakanda flavor. Wow.
Oh my god.
So this is I guess along the same vein. And Tank, maybe you understand this. Nuru, do you ever get people that come up to you and go, "Oh, you're from Nigeria? Do you know XYZ?" Like some person's name. And like you say, "I'm from a country," and it's like, "Oh, do you know this person?"
That doesn't happen anymore. Like it hasn't even happened to me.
It doesn't happen anymore.
No, I don't think it happens as much, especially with a country like Nigeria, because people kind of know now that Nigeria is a rather large compared to other African countries. It's definitely large. So
Okay.
that
What's
doesn't
worse?
that doesn't happen to Nigerians as
So-
much as it would happen. I know people who it's happened to before, but for most of us who are like nowadays, that's not a thing that happens.
So I was saying Tank might relate because it's kind of a military thing where I was in the Marine Corps and Tank was in the Army, and people would come up to me and they go, "Oh, you're in the Marine Corps? Yeah. Well, do you know my cousin Johnny?" No, I don't know your fucking cousin Johnny. Do you know how big the fucking Marine Corps is?
Yeah.
It's the smallest branch, and it's still like so large. Why the fuck do you think I know your cousin Johnny?
Yeah.
Like, does that happen in the Army too?
Yes. Yeah, it does. It does.
Like, oh wait, yeah, there's only 10 of us.
Yeah,
I
right.
totally know that dude. I know him.
Everybody's last name is Smith for some reason. It's really weird.
It did happen once where I did know the person.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, do you know this guy?" I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
As of January 31st, there's like 1.4 million people serving in the U.S. Armed Forces.
Armed
Yeah.
Forces, that's
Yes,
all the
I know your cousin Johnny because I know all 1.4 million.
Yeah.
No, the worst, and I caught myself doing this the other day. There's a guy that I met. He goes by Mo, and I learned that his name is Umoji. And I was like, "Oh, where's your name from?" And he's like, "Oh, it's I think he said, I'm pretty sure he said it was Swahili." And I was like, I immediately jumped into like, "Oh, well, I do a podcast, and my buddy's from Nigeria." And it's like, "Hey, like I know we're different colors, but we can still be cool, right? I know black people too." And I was like, when I got done with that conversation, I was like, "Man, like that felt like I was just like." I wanted to like, make sure that he knew that I'm cool. I'm cool. Like it's fine. Like I have friends. Like I was like, oh god, yeah, that's so.
No, I have used Nauru. I have used you because another lady was from Nigeria.
Yeah, okay, that's different.
And this is a real thing. Nauru, you can attest to this. There's some people from Nigeria that will only talk to and deal with other Nigerians.
Really?
Well, yes. Dude, my grandmother's from Taiwan. She only talks to other people from Taiwan. So
I can tell you for a fact the Nigerians, honestly speaking, are almost the opposite. Like there's people from Nigeria who honestly will half the time do that.
Well, this lady was talking to me, but she didn't like trust me, So I was like, I saw her name and I read it and I was like, "Oh, your name sound, where are you from?" "America." Well, I understand that, but your name isn't a Native American name, so where's your family come from?
Yeah.
We're from Nigeria. Oh, okay, that's what I was going to say because one of my good buddies, I lied a little bit. I said you were my good buddy. His last name is Igbaje. And she goes, "Wait, how did you say that? Igbaje?" And she was like, "Where's he from?" I was like, "Oh, he's from Nigeria." And she was like, "Huh." I was like, "No, he came over to my house and he brought those the meat pies."
Oh yeah.
"Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, apparently it's like a big thing in Nigeria and it's not a party." And she goes, "Unless you have them." And she called them by their real name, but then I was cool.
That's
We
awesome.
worked together.
Yeah, you're invited to the cookout now.
That's such a good sales tactic. Like that's
because
incredible.
I was like, well, she wasn't.
Listen, all I'm going to say to you is I want 10%. That's it.
Well, she wasn't talking to me, so I was like, how do I break the ice here? And I was like, your last name is kind of interesting.
People, generally speaking, just need to feel a sense of relatability, and if you can give them that, then they're cool, and that's definitely one way to do it for real.
Enter the Nigerian hot pocket.
I've done it in the past with like I was talking to a guy and we were trying to just have a conversation, and then on the television, because he's an Indian dude, and there's a movie that was showing. I'm like, oh, that's so I called the name of the actor, and he's like, I'm like, yeah, I know this guy. I'm like, I watch a lot of Indian movies. Like, how do you? I'm like, I'm from Nigeria. Growing up as a kid, every Saturday or Sunday, they showed Indian movies in the morning for 3 hours, and we watched a whole. I started listing up a bunch of them. Meet Rachel was one of my favorites. I loved Sholay. Loved movies like I started listing 5, 6 Indian movies from the 80s, man. And he's like, whoa.
Well, let's get out of 80s Indian movies and let's get into what we've been doing this week. Tank, what have you been up to this week, dude?
Dude, I've been
watching movies, Indian movies.
D&D heaven. So last Saturday, my group had took a month break just because of scheduling and everything else. So we all got together Saturday and played for like 7 or 8 hours on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was hella fun. And then this Sunday, Mother's Day actually, I've got some guys coming over, and Shan, my wife, is going to DM a game for me and 3 other guys so that I can actually play D&D instead of having to be on the other side of the DM screen.
Is that what she's doing for Mother's Day? So sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, and shouts out to her because Yeah, and shouts out to her because today is our 8-year wedding anniversary, and she is not yelling at me
And
for
you're
being
doing
down
the
here.
show?
Dude, well, look, because there's no show without me, man. Like
Yes, there is. We've done it without you before.
live.
It's
You wouldn't be able to do it
not as
live.
cool. No, we haven't done it live.
You haven't been able to do it live.
That's
You
true.
True.
Yeah, exactly. So
We'll figure it out, though.
make sure you guys message her on Facebook and tell her how awesome she is for letting me come down here and record and not giving me any shit about it. So.
Nah, that's okay.
Regardless. And we might make it worse. That's the only thing.
I will definitely make it worse.
Yes, that's true. I retract that last statement. Don't say anything. But no, and then the last thing, we spent all week, well, like within like 3 actual days of sitting down and watching, and started Game of Thrones and watched the whole first season. So I'm now officially on season 2 of Game of Thrones.
And
The first season kind of sucks, but I knew it was gonna.
Yeah. We
And
see.
so-
We primered you for it, though. It's
So
story.
I had it right, and I had watched. We realized we had watched all but the season finale to season 1. That like probably when it first came out.
Right.
And like we're
Now-
like, this is stupid. Like this is like it was whatever. It's kind of the first season's boring. Like it takes forever to get going.
Yeah, I watched the first 3. No, I finished the first season because Ned Stark dies.
Yeah.
But I was just I was like you. I was like, man, whatever. Like
Yeah.
this.
You just spoiled it for Tank.
He already finished it.
I finished the first
I
season,
know.
so
So-
I've read the book at least until the Red Wedding. It's like I know what the Red Wedding is from the books. So-
my advice, and Naru, chime in if you disagree. Go right into season 2. Do not
have.
take a breather. Do
No.
not just go right into it.
We're
honestly,
2
I would actually
seasons,
recommend if somebody want to get into the show, you might want to like maybe jump in like halfway through season 1, and then wrap it up, and then go to season 2.
Like
But-
immediately though.
Yeah.
Like don't put a long
No, no.
hiatus. between
Yeah,
one.
no, we started. In fact, as soon as we get done recording tonight, we're gonna go watch a couple more episodes. So
Yeah, cool.
It used to be when my wife and I were catching up, we would watch like 4 episodes on a Saturday.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
like, we can do this. Like we can.
dude,
we'll
my
just
kids
do
my
nothing
kids go to
else.
bed at 9. I don't have to wake up until 7. Dude, that's like we can watch till like 12, 1 o'clock maybe if it's a really good segment. So and then I just like drag ass all day until
Yeah, like in your regular job.
So basically, staying up till 12:01 and waking up at 7 is late for you.
It is for me. I'm old.
You
dude.
puss. So
We haven't hit our second stride yet, like you have.
Right? Yeah. I'm still on the way.
Old people rule.
All right, Drew. So I would like to say this before you go.
All right.
This weekend, Naru and I both went to Free Comic Book Day.
Nice.
We
Yay.
went to 2 separate comic book places, and you can trace our adventures on Instagram or Twitter, the old tweet machines. So, Naru, I'm going to go into something, and then you go in from that and go what you did the rest of the week. Hold up your favorite book from Free Comic Book Day.
Oh shit.
We caught him off guard.
I caught him so off guard.
So do you have yours? Do you have yours ready?
I do have mine ready.
Just go ahead and throw yours up. That Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, that's dope.
Yo, with an honorable mention,
Deadly
Deadly
Class.
Class.
I need to finish that. Has the season finished?
Yes, the season is
I need
finished.
to go finish it. I never finished
So
it.
yes, mine is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, honorable mention, Deadly Class. 2 free comic books. I got a ton for my kids. I got a lot for me to read. I think they cheaped. Naru, I hope you agree with me here. I think Image cheaped out by just reproducing Spawn #1. Same story from 1991.
Yeah, that's why I
The
didn't.
same book I already have. I saw the cover. I was like, oh, maybe it's something new. It's not. Same one.
Yeah,
I've already
I grabbed
got
a whole
that.
bunch of stuff for myself and thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna make this free comic book day about the kids. So honestly, I grabbed the majority of the things I got for free are for the kids. Probably my favorite would be this one because my daughter immediately just resonated with the Minecraft comic book. She
Minecraft,
grabbed
nice.
it. I'm like, yay, whatever. But the one I bought for myself was the one that also kind of like the Tuskegee Airs because I've been running into this in sometimes I would follow certain people, like especially if you go down the rabbit hole of Wakanda after Black Panther, you begin to run into a whole bunch of Black creators and people who are very interested in the impact and how it's shown the light on people like them. And then I came across this dude who did the Tuskegee Heirs, which is a pretty cool futuristic book. And I'm like, one of these days I'll buy it. One of these days I'll buy it. And I walk into the store, and there he is, Marcus Williams. He's sitting right there. I'm like, oh, wait a second. That's the guy and I've seen him online. I just never, engaged with him before, because I kept wanting to buy the book before I said anything to the guy on Twitter. And then all of a sudden he's standing right there. I got no choice. Also, I walked in with this T-shirt that said, "Sorry, I'm late," but I didn't really want to be here. So the owner of the store took one look at me and is like, "Dude, I'm sure that's a lie." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." So we're just cracking up, and then he says, "Hey, you met our guest." I'm like, "Oh shit, now I can't avoid him." So I walk up to the guy, introduce myself, and we have a quick chat and everything. I'm like, "Hey, listen, one of these days I might want to get you on the show." And he goes, "Really? Hey, listen, I don't care if it's a small show. I'm cool. I'll be on it. You just say the word." I'm like, "Okay, I'll let you know." So that was fun.
We're a big show, dog.
I got
all three of us.
I am ashamed of myself that I almost let the day slip by. So I got to say, a grudging thank you, Jason, for reminding me.
You're welcome. May the 4th be with you.
As far as what I did last week, honestly, I've just been in this world of irritation over Game of Thrones, I think. Like, just not particularly... Yeah, like I was actually bitching about it with Tank before.
Sorry. I was about to say it, but when Tank gets there, I don't want to ruin it for him.
Yeah.
Like there's bits and pieces. Like it's the internet. It's kind of hard to stay away from all of it. So it'll be good.
Dude,
but by the time you get there, you'll
talking about the coffee cup. That's what you were talking about.
That shit was so funny. The Starbucks cup. That shit makes me crack up, dude. That's all over the internet. I love it.
Ooh, Jason's face said, "I don't know what
you know what we're talking about."
No.
There's some scene where Daenerys has a Starbucks cup in front of her on the table.
And it's in the show.
Yeah.
What?
It made it.
They had this thing for a year. They don't let us see the movie. And
it's a good.
And they don't edit out the coffee cup. I'm like, are you serious right now?
And you really, they don't ever shoot a scene just once. So either one of two things happens.
Wow. If you type in Game of Thrones on Google,
the
first thing that pops up, Starbucks cup.
Yeah. So either one of two things happens. Either that cup is there for every shoot and no one paid attention, no one noticed, or it wasn't in. This was the only shoot that cup was in, but the other shots were so crap that they had to pick the shot with the Starbucks cup, and none of the editors, nobody noticed that the Starbucks cup was in the scene. That shit's funny.
All I'm saying is, it was a little brown looking. That's
all I'm saying. You don't know what's in Winterfell, okay? Dude, they have Starbucks. All right.
It makes me think of Wakanda.
Khaleesi, your order is up.
Yep.
Khaleesi. Sorry, Daenerys Stormborn.
I saw it's a picture of her and it's like, I'm Daenerys Stormborn, god of fire, blah 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 blah. And then you see the barista writing the name and it shows the cup and it just says Dennis. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I love it. It's so good.
Tank, you're gonna be so excited when you watch that show. But anyway. I'm pretty mad about Game of Thrones as well, because I was a little bit behind because I was in Florida, so I didn't get to watch the battle scene.
Yeah.
And then the episode after the battle scene.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like, you just had one of the greatest episodes in television history, which... Still, after watching it and watching like both, I'd still say Battle of the Bastards is better to me. But
yeah, probably.
But, I don't remember if it was my wife and I or my brother and I. We were talking about why, and
not a confusion you want to be making often. Just saying.
Well, because I talk to, like, one of the only things nerdy that my wife talks about is The Hobbit and friggin' Lord of the Rings.
That's dope.
Well, also Game of
I think
Thrones.
Brandon and
Isn't she
Kelsey
a Harry
just
Potter
something
fan
we
too?
should never have.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. No, she is a Harry Potter fan. Not Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Game of Thrones. Those are the only three things that my wife really likes, which is why she played Dungeons and Dragons. But we'll talk about Game of Thrones. But Brandon and I also call and have like 4-hour conversations about stupid shit. So it could have been either of them. But anyway, the Battle of Winterfell, like the this past one, where the dead come. A lot of people love it, but the Battle of the Bastards rang more true to me because it was like I could sympathize with that. Like, so I don't know. That's just I still like Battle of the Bastards better, and I was kind of pissed about how that scene ended anyway. But this week, I've been playing a lot of Epic 7, which is a new RPG on mobile. So I might stream that on Twitch this week, maybe tomorrow, or this week or next week. Might do that, and then Brandon's not here, but I've went against my Magic the Gathering ways because there's nothing to play on my phone. And when I make these trips to and from Florida, all I have is my phone because I can't bring my Xbox. So I've started playing phone games. Started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a kid's card game.
Dude, that game was I loved Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
Dude, the mobile game is not bad.
Yeah?
It's actually pretty in-depth, like Hearthstone.
Wow.
But Hearthstone is kind of like fallen off for me, so I needed a new challenge, and I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever.
Oh, dude, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the cards played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
I gotta look it up. I know what it is, but I can't tell what it is.
It's an anime about a card game.
It's time.
It was when I started playing card games, I started with Magic the Gathering, so then of course I looked at Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was like,
yeah, let's step back.
you lost
this is
me
a child's game.
Yeah.
You lost me at anime.
You should have started. You should have started with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and then those are like gateway drugs to Magic.
Right. I started with Magic.
Yeah. See.
Like in '98.
Right.
So I've been playing Magic the Gathering forever.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, I don't have a Magic the Gathering for my phone, so what's another card game? And I was like, oh, well, I'll just try this Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I like games where I can hold my phone straight up. And I don't have to turn it,
So when you're in meetings?
What's up?
When you're in meetings, no one knows what you're doing?
What the See, this is what I'm talking about. I talked to my wife about Game of Thrones shit. You guys told me about the Starbucks thing. I sent the picture to her immediately and said, how do we miss this? She replied and said, I didn't miss it.
Just left you out to dry.
Yeah,
That's
right?
funny.
Leave me looking like a fucking nerd. Oh, and so the girl's mom sent a picture today. Apparently the girls had like a dress-up day at school. And it was Nerd Day. So my youngest daughter wore her glasses and like a comic book t-shirt. And I was like, oh, that looks like me today.
Every day, yeah.
Literally looks like me today.
Yeah, I was like, I have a Marvel t-shirt on.
Wear it proud,
Yeah.
young Padawan. Nerd Day, every day. Soon you'll rule the world. Or start a podcast that no one wants to listen to.
There is that option as well.
Let's move on from there. So we've all been really doing nothing interesting. So
D&D, bruh.
there is something interesting that did come out this week. Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. So what we're going to do for you guys, we're going to watch this. Oh, hello. Hello, Tom. That was fucking fast.
It should just
So
right in your face.
yeah, that was fast. So what we're going to do, Tank and I have not seen this yet. Naru has.
Correct.
But Naru has told us, spoiler alert, that there is some kind of nod to Phase 4, which leads into the rest of our conversation for the show. So, Tank, do you have anything you want to say before we watch this Spider-Man trailer?
No, because I read some stuff on the internet. I want to see if it's true, and I'm excited because I thought what they did with Homecoming was really cool. I was very impressed with Homecoming. I'm gonna be a little sad if Spider-Man 3 isn't Spider-Man Home Alone and it's him having to protect the Avengers complex by himself and exactly, and just has to set traps everywhere. I'm gonna be a little sad, but But that's okay.
Covers people in paint and shit.
Yeah. So
I want to say that I will watch this trailer willingly because it's a Spider-Man trailer, and you guys could have never got me to do this on air for Endgame. I just
oh
want
no, I wouldn't have done it for Endgame. But I will say, because of what little stuff I saw for Endgame and talking to Naru before the show, I have faith in Marvel not to give away the entire movie in the trailer.
Yep.
So
I do, but at the same time, it's a Spider-Man movie. So like, I don't go to a Spider-Man movie for the story. I go to a Spider-Man movie because it's a feel-good movie.
right.
Like, Spider-Man is like, people are gonna hate me online, but Spider-Man is the kid movie of Marvel.
Ooh.
It is.
I'm gonna hate you right here. What the hell?
It is. It's the feel-good movie. It's the kid movie.
Really?
Yes.
Ugh.
That's
Dude,
okay.
my kid's not even born yet. He's got a Spider-Man outfit. Tell me it's not a kid movie.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
All right.
I saw this super sick Scarlet Spider hoodie that I almost bought on the spot. Because it's like,
For yourself?
yeah.
Dude, it's all about that Venom.
I got
something.
2 Spider-Man t-shirts.
But I was.
I would wear a Venom hoodie. I'd rock that. Actually, I'm thinking about buying a Venom helmet for my motorcycle
There you
that I
go.
don't have yet. But so I'm getting a new motorcycle,
Different.
and I told my wife this summer I am buying this helmet. She was like, "So you're gonna buy a $600 helmet before you get the new motorcycle?" Yes, because I don't want them to sell out of it, and I want the Venom helmet, and it's my Venom. It's not Eddie Brock Venom, okay?
Venom.
No, it's not. It's not Eminem's Venom. Okay, it's fucking Agent Venom, and it's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's sick.
All right.
Agent Venom helmet?
Yes, and
Oh, that
it's
sounds
dope.
cool.
All right.
All right.
Ready? All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, stop watching because there's some
Hello,
spoilers.
I'm Spider-Man.
But if you have seen Avengers
Just your
Endgame, enjoy the trailer.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Enjoy the trailer.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. Just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too. I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
Damn.
Yo.
gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your job.
Oh,
Burn.
Because I am going on vacation.
shit. That's great.
Heads up. Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk. I want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
Do not ghost Nick Fury.
Talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo. Oh,
I think MJ really likes me.
That reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man.
Now that line makes sense.
This is Mr. Beck.
We could use someone like you on my world.
Your world? Beck is from Earth, just not ours. Snap to a hole in our dimension.
Ah,
Saying there's some
Aha.
We have a job to do. You're coming with us.
What?
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel.
Unavailable.
But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please. You've been to space.
Bitch, please.
You won't, Peter.
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ,
I'm Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
I may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
ooh, Tony's glasses.
Putting my friends in danger.
Yeah, were those Stark's
World
glasses?
needs the next Iron Man.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure look like him.
Are you going to step up or not?
Huh.
Yo, that looks sick.
Get you guys out of here. Get on the jet. Who are you? I work with Spider-Man. You work
for Spider-Man? I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man.
New plan.
New play.
All right, so
Okay.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's gonna be a feel-good movie, but after watching that trailer, I will
Stakes
say
are pretty high.
What's up?
Stakes are pretty high though, like higher than I
Well,
thought.
yeah, they're higher than a kids movie. I will say the first one was definitely like Spider-Man's always kind of been the friendly childhood character.
Yeah.
This one, I will say, it kind of they're stepping away from the comics, obviously, because Iron Man's dead.
Yeah.
And not coming back. They have zero intentions of bringing him back. So, and that was Feige actually did an interview where he said he has zero intentions of bringing Iron Man or Quicksilver back. So they did. Anyway, I will say that I like the direction they're taking. Where Spider-Man, you see him with all the like gear and Stark's glasses and kind of taking that role. I like it. Tank, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's dope. I like that he's still in the Iron Spider suit. That's cool. For some reason, well, I guess because the other trailers pre-Endgame, we didn't like know he would still have like that Iron Spider suit. So like that's dope seeing him in that. And so the one thing I saw online, that I was kind of looking for, was the little blurb about the trailer kind of opens the world to introduce mutants. And okay, that's how the snap tore a hole in our reality. That's how they're going to introduce. That's how they're going to bring in the
multiverse. A lot of things, not just mutants. But
Right. So Fantastic Four, X-Men, like all that stuff. That's how they. That's going to be That's going to be their story hook to bring in these other characters. And I'm good. I'm down with that. They needed. They had to find some way to do it. Because this universe was not originally built to facilitate mutants and Fantastic Four and those kinds of characters. So I'm down. Like, this is a good way to do it, and I'm excited. This movie looks good, man. Like, I think...
so you think this one's the linchpin after Endgame that connects us to Phase 4?
If I'm not mistaken, isn't this movie technically still part of Phase 3?
Yes. This one, and there's one more.
No,
I think this is the last one.
No, I thought there was this one and either
because we don't even know we don't even know what the next Marvel movie out.
Well, originally I thought it was supposed to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but that got delayed. Then I thought it was going to be not Black Panther 2. It was a sequel. It wasn't a new character. It was a sequel.
Doctor Strange, I guess.
I can't remember
or
now.
Ant-Man 3. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure
it
this
wasn't
is
Ant-Man 3. It was something else.
Kind of the same way that, and I don't know if I like or don't like this, but kind of the same way that the first Ant-Man after Age of Ultron was the last movie in Phase 2, even though you would think like the big Avengers movie would be the last one. They're kind of doing the same thing again. I don't know. From a big story point, like it seems like you'd want to end on Endgame, but maybe they've got something.
Well, you need a linchpin.
Exactly.
You need something that connects it to the next
They've
one.
always had the hook movie.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's
everything we've seen in Phase 3, you can tell that Ant-Man was super important to all that happened, right? His entire world, his power set, the time vortexes, all this stuff.
That's a good point, Rue.
So what I'm expecting to see stuff in Spider-Man that follows the same trend. It's the end of Phase 3.
That's going to carry over for the next 5-6 years.
So I'm wondering what it was. I was wondering what it was until I heard that line. Oh, he's not from our world. Say what now? Slow down. Back up. Rewind.
So wait a minute. You think like Ant-Man was the last one of Phase 2, and then he was the I don't want to say the biggest character.
They used him to plant all the breadcrumbs for Phase 3.
Exactly. And then he was the way to defeat Thanos.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, because he was the one that found out, like, hey, we can do time travel.
Yeah.
Right.
He was the one that did that.
Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily mean Spider-Man is going to be the way to defeat, quote unquote,
whatever ex-bad guy is.
Yeah. But it does mean that we are going to see breadcrumbs or the root, the seed of whatever is going to be become a thematic
Through
tool
line, yeah.
that's going to be a through line right through phase 3. And
Yo, I
think,
don't think
to me, it doesn't mean it's going to be important enough that's going to overpower the story arc that we're going to see, but it's going to be important enough that it's going to help lead. Because if you notice, everything that happened with Ant-Man basically just wraps up phase 2,
4,
phase 3, but it still ended at phase 2. So it wasn't even that important until the end of phase 3.
Right.
So I think phase 4 is going to lead off into the new superheroes coming in. The fact that they did this here is going to help us get there.
I don't think that there's going to be a big bad until like end of stage 5. Like phase 5 will be the next big bad.
Do you think
I don't think they're going to put a big bad in phase 4.
No. Do you think they'll hint at him like they did Thanos at the end?
Oh
of
yeah,
Avengers?
they'll hint, but it's going to be like Ultron. Like Ultron in the comics, the fucking nasty villain.
Yeah.
But in the movie is like one movie.
Yeah.
You guys realize Ultron could come back, right?
Right, yeah. But what I'm saying is he only got one movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like in the comics, thus far, he has one movie. But what would be cool to me, leading from this, right, phase 4, tying into phase 5, how Spider-Man's the linchpin and they introduce, the multiverse or whatever.
Yep.
What if they took the Civil War complex and Spider-Man was in the middle of Civil War? Tank, this might be out of your realm.
I know the concepts of the.
Yeah, so in the comics, it was Captain America and Iron Man. So what if it's the same story, where it's like the new multiverses are coming to our Earth, and it's a war between the two, almost like Civil War or Avengers vs X-Men, but Spider-Man's in the middle because now he's making friends with Mysterio, and obviously, he's already part of this Avengers.
Avengers versus X-Men seemed like a very plausible plot point for me that they could do, because if you're going to bring these guys in, there's bound to be conflict when they first show up. I mean, let's be honest. All the superheroes we've seen so far in the MCU, outside of the alien characters, everybody else who's from Earth looks like a human being, except for Hulk. And even then, from time to time, when the X-Men show up into this universe, they're going to freak the hell out of a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to look weird as hell. They're going to have all kinds of weird powers. They're going to some of that stuff going to be creepy. So that just lays the groundwork for xenophobia like you would not believe.
If they bring X-Men, they can bring Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Deadpool's coming. Like, he already said, "Hey, I'm packing up, moving to my new home."
I'm still convinced. I want Deadpool to be the new Stan Lee cameo. I want Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool to show up in every single Marvel movie from here on ever.
I think they're still going to do Stan Lee.
That would actually make sense.
I think they're going to CGI his face.
No.
Because dude. That's what Marvel.
I think they're gonna be Stan Lee. I just don't think it's gonna be CGI. They'll put him in stuff like you'll see his picture, his portrait.
Now that they could do, they could still do. I don't think they'll do.
Star Wars did a whole fucking movie.
I know they
CGI-ing
did.
a face,
but I don't. I don't want them to do that. Because I think, we've gotten what we got. Like,
Stan would love it though.
Maybe. I mean, probably.
Have you ever seen The Sandlot?
Yeah.
Legends never die.
That's why, like, I'm cool with him, like, referencing or like we seeing pictures of him and posters and museums and whatever.
Shit, he was in Endgame.
I know he was, but he filmed that before he died.
Yeah.
That was filmed before he died.
Like, there's an actual picture of him in the 70s makeup, looking much younger. Ooh, wow, dude.
Because Endgame was filmed right after they finished filming Infinity War.
So they had that.
So, okay. So, all right. So this leads us into our topic, right? Now we have the multiverse. We need to go from Endgame, right, to phase 4. So we have a set amount of dates coming. And if you look online, people estimate like, oh, well, we think this is this one. We think this is this one. We've got 2 movies for Phase 4 coming out in 2020. So our first Phase 4 movie will be May 1st, 2020.
Yeah.
Right now, so there is a solo Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Which obviously is not going to be current.
Nope.
So that one, I think that'll have Easter eggs, but it's basically going to be like the Captain Marvel movie, where it's not set in this time.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll
with that.
be before.
Yep.
And then Black Panther 2. No, I'm sorry. Black Widow, and then oh gosh, it looks like Black Panther 2 will be probably February 2021, or February 20, because there are 2 February dates. So they're thinking that'll come out around Black History Month. This site actually sucks really bad. Okay, so I found one earlier, but I don't know where it went. So Shang-Chi, which is the one that I'm super excited about,
Yeah.
the martial artist, I'm thinking that one's probably going to go to 2022 because they just found the actor. But also the movie The Eternals.
Right. They've started casting that.
That will also be 2022, I believe. So what movies that we know about are you guys most excited to see?
I want to see Doctor Strange too, because he should have knowledge of the multiverse. So it should be really easy to plug him in and have him and his wizards, being a part of this whole whatever this multiverse story becomes. He should already know what's going on, what's happening, and be able to drop right into the story. And I'm a Doctor Strange fan, so I think it's
you
dope.
are.
So that's the one movie that I haven't seen hardly anybody talking about. Everybody's talking about Black Panther 2, talking about Eternals, talking about Shang-Chi, those other movies. No one's talking about Doctor Strange 2 to include. There's not a whole lot online about it. And so, but that's the movie that I hope that we get, and we get sooner than later.
What about you, Ru?
Honestly, probably. I mean, if I was to be very honest, I'm interested in seeing some new stuff. Like, I've seen these characters. I want to see what they do. So is the new stuff like, a Nova movie, for example, or something else that just kind of introduces. Eternals is interesting to me. I want to see where they go with that. Like,
they're D-list characters, so I mean,
they
can really go anywhere with it.
Yeah, well, there was a whole bunch of D-list characters that we all love now. So
that's what I'm saying.
Isn't Nova, the character Nova, he gets his power from his helmet, who was his dad's, right?
So
yes.
The original Sam Ryder, yes. Richard Ryder is the dad. Sam is the son.
So Nova Prime was destroyed pre-snap, so it should still be gone. So that's a super cool way to give him a very, Superman or Goku story where he was off planet with this helmet. All he has is like some memories or stories or data crystals that give him, and they could do a really cool thing with that, not knowing the comic storyline.
An interesting thing about that is in one of the more recent Disney XD cartoon series where they kind of run through Nova's story arc in Spider-Man or something or the other.
Yeah, that's what
there's a very interesting thing they did where something happens to the Nova Corps. They pretty much all get destroyed, right? It was Guardians of the Galaxy, right? The cartoon. They pretty much all get destroyed, and Sam Ryder, the helmet just kind of flies and shows up to him, and he gets the helmet, and he's the only person with that helmet and the ability to use it. And he's basically being a hero, but he's also trying to figure out whose helmet is this, why do I have this power, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very interesting route where it's like dad died and his helmet came back and it was bequeathed to him, sort of thing. So it's I'm curious to see where they can go with that sort of story, because then it opens up the idea of a human being who has power actually showing up in a destroyed universe, and somehow his helmet has the power of all the other helmets combined.
With Sam Ryder, that's the story that I read, because Sam's a newer Nova character. So I read his arc, like his first story arc, and he was in his dad's shed, like hating his dad because dad bailed out on me, blah blah blah, but he didn't know that his dad was Nova, right? Because the mom can't say anything, kind of like Peter Quill, right? Guardians of the Galaxy type thing. Thinks his dad ran out on him, but his dad is Nova. So then the helmet comes down, he gets the power, but the aliens like that are hunting the helmet that want it for themselves try to like thrash him. So I think that would be super cool. And that could be something that ties into a younger generation as well, kind of like Spider-Man, you know, and then like Brandon's saying, we get these characters for a longer time because then you get a Sam Ryder who's, you know, 16, 17. Now him and Spider-Man are creating, what is it? Not the Defenders. What is it? The kids team, Champions. It's got Miles Morales. It's got Miss Marvel, like the younger Captain Marvel type kid. Sam Ryder. It's got a whole bunch of people, but like, girl Hawkeye.
Yeah,
that would be dope.
Yo, because he was teaching his daughter at the beginning of the movie.
Teaching. The Suns were playing baseball. He calls her Hawkeye.
Yeah, that's dope.
Just saying.
I didn't know she took up, or a female took up the mantle like that.
Yeah, in the comics she does for a little bit.
Yeah, but it wasn't his daughter though.
Yeah, it was.
In the comics,
mm-hmm.
It's not his daughter.
In the newer comics, like the purple and black and white ones, super cool ones. I can't remember who wrote those. It came out in like 2016. His daughter ends up taking the mantle of Hawkeye, so there are two Hawkeyes.
The only thing I
There's
don't.
two Hawkeyes now, but it's not his daughter. What's her name? I can't remember.
Either way, the one thing that I don't want to happen, and I haven't heard any rumors. It's just from us talking. I don't want all of the kids to take over the mantles. Like I don't want Iron Man's daughter to become Iron Man and Hawkeye's daughter to be Hawkeye. You know, and they just
Kate Bishop.
They just pass on like that. That I don't want. You know, they could pick one. Maybe you could do Hawkeye. Hawkeye is a ancillary enough character. As long as, but I don't want like them just to to turn around and make Iron Man.
No, like, but see, we have to remember that unlike comic books, these people will get older. So like Iron Man couldn't stay Iron Man forever.
Sure.
So they killed off his character. You create a new character. Well, I'm not saying that she becomes Hawkeye, phase 4, but what about phase 10? It's like, oh yeah, you remember, Clint Barton's daughter Kate? Well, here she is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say this much. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has been super successful because they've been taking us on a journey with these characters, but they can't do the thing that comic books do, or even movies like the Bond movies do, which is basically keep the character eternally young.
Right.
The Bond movies, Bond is always a new Bond. There's a new Bond. There's a new Bond. There's a new Bond. But they can't do that, and that's the issue. So like when you say phase 10, they're going to have to run down this path as far as it goes. The good thing, though, is movies can't get made every year, so they got to make movies. They got to tell the story 2 years, every 3 years. So there's enough time for us to, grow into new characters and everything. Yeah. But it does leave them in a bit of a conundrum because at the end of the day, they're going to have to do stuff like introduce the new Avengers or the Young Avengers or something, because they're going to have to do that, whether or not we like it.
Well, at that point, the Young Avengers will just be the Avengers Team 8.
True. It would just be the Avengers. Or they could actually go ahead and call it the New Avengers. I don't know. I mean, what's wrong with that?
I mean, I see so many things happening, and I think, to me, and this might sound blasphemous because pretty much this show runs off the MCU, but I think Phase 4 is really just like a linchpin to Phase 5. I don't see it being like Phase 2 was kind of that.
Phase 3 a linchpin to Phase 4 and Phase 2?
No, Phase 4 was...
And Phase 1 a linchpin?
Yeah, Phase 4 was the conclusion of the Infinity Saga.
But what I'm saying is, I don't see... there will be good movies. We'll enjoy them. We'll all go see them.
Yeah.
But I don't see it being like, oh, we just came off Endgame. We're going to get another Endgame. No, we're not.
No.
Don't even go to the theater thinking that.
No, we're going back to Phase 1. It's time to rebuild, right?
Right.
Which is why I said what I said about the new characters. I'm looking forward to seeing new characters. Who else can they bring that I can get interested in? Because
I want to see, and I talked about this last week.
Because yours is dead.
Who?
And Naru said, "Oh, I need new characters. You know, I want to see."
Oh, because
His
yours is
favorite
dead.
character's dead.
Well,
Yeah.
yours is old and retired, so.
Well, mine passed the mantle on.
I mentioned it. I mentioned the last couple weeks. I want to see a Kevin Feige produced MCU Fantastic Four movie because I want Doom to be the next big bad. So even if we don't meet Doom in the first Fantastic Four movie, I want to go ahead and start introducing those characters so that we can get to Doom just wrecking shop.
The way that Doom comes about, he would have to be in the first Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Well,
if you keep to the same
classic Doom.
Yeah,
classic Doom.
As long as we don't get Fan Four Stick Doom, I don't really care because, holy shit, that sucked. But, but yeah, that's
I'm with you there.
If Doom is the new Loki, but kind of elevated to a Thanos level, we meet Loki early. He kind of pops up every now, but make him,
Wow.
If you kind of combine the Loki Thanos role into one character and make him Doom, that would be dope. I'd be okay with this. Like stretch him out over like 2 or 3 phases.
Make him charismatic enough that you like him, but also make him terrible enough that he's a real threat.
I just hope that the MCU is listening when everyone on Earth is saying that Jim from The Office should be Mr. Fantastic.
Krasinski?
Yeah, John Krasinski. That guy looks like Mr. Fantastic.
I can see that.
And if they offer him that role, he'll say yes. Like
duh. They offered me that role, I'd say yes.
Shit,
yeah. I'll just dye my hair a little bit. I'm good.
I'll bleach my skin. I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah, shit, are you kidding me? No, but seriously, on a more serious note, he's too old. Like at this point, he's too old.
John Krasinski?
Reed Richards isn't young.
Reed Richards is old.
I'm not saying he's. You gotta understand. They can't
Paul Rudd's 50.
Yeah, and Chris Hemsworth in his 40s.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth is not in his 40s.
Yes.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Let's
Chris
consult
Pratt?
the Googles.
Chris Evans is 39. 37.
Yeah, Hemsworth is older.
younger.
Chris Hemsworth is 35 years old.
Damn it. Why does he look so damn good?
Because he's Australian.
True.
Have you seen Crocodile Dundee? What are you talking about? No. But on a
Steve
serious
Irwin
note,
up in this bitch.
I think in all honesty, they're going to want to cast people who can play the role even longer than RDJ did going forward. Because if they knock it out the park with Fantastic Four, you just can't make that mistake of having a guy who can only do years anymore.
I think they did learn a lesson with RDJ though. Because yes, he is Iron Man. I will say that. He is Iron Man. You could never have cast a better Iron Man. But at the end, he did start showing his age.
Yeah.
Chris Evans didn't.
No.
Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, Chris Evans is a beast among men.
Dude, Chris Evans is 37. He could do it for 10 more years.
Because how old's Robert Downey?
Huh?
How old's RDJ?
RDJ is 50.
Okay.
So Paul Rudd is older than Robert Downey Jr.
Looks like they're about the same age.
He's about a year older. Right?
Oh yeah, Paul Rudd is 50.
Paul Rudd turned 50 this year.
So how long are they keeping Ant-Man? Because he could do it until he's 60 probably.
And you wouldn't be able to tell, dude.
Never know.
That dude's a vampire.
RDJ is 54.
Okay, so there you go.
So
I mean, you can't compare him with Chris.
What about Cumberbatch though? He's probably late 30s.
Late 30s? I'll let Nerd Google it.
He's probably late 30s.
Yeah, probably mid to late 30s. Yeah, no, he's definitely
42.
Chris Hemsworth is 35.
Check it out. So Benedict Cumberbatch is the age RDJ was when he started.
Okay. Cumberbatch looks young. RDJ didn't look that young when in 2008. So,
hard life, dude. Hard life. Prison life, drugs.
Everybody say heroin's a hell of a drug. So
John Krasinski is 39 years old.
And you want him to start at 39? You're gonna have another RDJ situation.
Yeah, but that's okay with Mr. Fantastic because he's old. Like he's older.
Yeah.
He's got the gray hair. He gets older. He has a son. Like he's not meant to be the young, like flashy, flamboyant one.
That would be the
All
torch.
puns intended. The flashy one.
Okay, I can see what you're saying there. Okay, I mean, Probably this, if they want to make that happen, yeah. But here's the thing: we're not going to see Mr. Fantastic in the MCU for another 5, 6, 7 years.
True.
Ugh. See, I don't think they have to wait that long. I think they should. They're going to have to wait that long for X-Men. They're going to have to wait that long for the X-Men characters. But Fan Four Stick was such a shit movie that no one saw, and even then, that came out in what, 16, 17? So even that was a couple years ago. So by the time they could cast, shoot, and release a Fantastic Four movie, even if they started now, they'd still put 4 or 5 years between that and Fan Four Stick.
Okay, here's the thing. Number one, I agree that they don't have to quote unquote wait. Marvel is good at adjusting and kind of rolling with the punches and start introducing and dropping the seeds. Having said that, though, all the rumors pointed to the initial plans being that James Gunn was going to be the guy to be the architect after the Russos of the direction of the MCU going forward. There's going to be a lot more cosmic and touch on stuff that's happening outside.
Well,
until he had his little
That's not going to happen now.
Well,
no, it is. It's coming back.
Yeah,
I mean, it's coming back, but I don't think
the Eternals is
check out the
cosmic.
stuff. Exactly. Check out the stuff that's being done. You got the Eternals. You got rumored Nova.
Galaxy are going.
You got the Guardians of the Galaxy / the Guardians of the Galaxy. So when you start touching on all these themes, clearly they got to go cosmic to make it significant. Now that
multiverse.
Thank you. That does leave room for the Fantastic Four because they're a cosmic team, even though they're grounded on Earth. But it also means that they can't bring them in too early, regardless, because they've already have a lot of these movies planned out for the next 5, 6 years. So, I mean, yeah, man.
Let's be honest. The plan isn't a good example, isn't a good reason, because they had a whole plan before they ever found out they were going to get Spider-Man. And as soon as they found out they got Spider-Man, they immediately dropped him into the MCU.
That's true.
So there's no reason.
Linchpin.
Right, and so there's no reason they can't do that with Fantastic.
But can we agree it's easier to put a Spider-Man into the MCU than it is to put, say, the X-Men or the Fantastic Four?
Because why?
Because they're more complex characters. They have more,
because Spider-Man is the child feel-good movie.
But so the problem with X-Men is you have an X-Men movie coming out this year that is not part of the MCU. So you've got to put space, or the non-people who are who have their own podcasts are going to get confused. They're not going to understand that.
Well, they could do it, just not a part of that universe, multiverse.
But that's still going to confuse the non-comic book, non-podcast.
It's definitely going to confuse a ton of people, and this whole snap multiverse idea is going to confuse everyone. It's confusing me right now.
Yeah, if they do it slowly and they spread it out and they don't immediately jump into X-Men, I think they can get away with.
Dude, I've seen 52 flashes, and I'm confused that this Thanos snap ripped a hole in the. Come on, I've seen Flashpoint. Come on now.
I saw a picture. It's the where Captain America is like, so you found yourself in detention, but they put him in a Flash costume, and it's like, so you want to fuck with the timelines? I was like, yes.
Listen, check it out. I'll tell you this much, and this is me just saying my thought. I get the whole get John Krasinski in and everybody saying this stuff, but I have faith in Sarah Haley Finn. Ooh, look, that woman is the casting director of the MCU. She is, next to Kevin Feige, the single most important reason, as far as I'm concerned, why they got it right with every single decision, every large-scale decision they made.
To be fair, it was Jon Favreau. It was one of the primary reasons we have Robert Downey Jr.
True, but I'm talking about casting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But he's not the only one that was perfect cast. Can we talk about someone who was a shitty Human Torch? Turns out to be one of the best superheroes of all time.
That was Sarah Haley Finn.
Oh, Chris Evans, you mean?
Chris Evans was the worst.
Torch? No. Hey, I would disagree.
No, he hit Human Torch on the head. But he was a terrible...
He was the best part of that movie.
Well, yeah, but that was a terrible movie, is what I'm saying.
You prefer Michael B. Jordan's Torch over Chris Evans?
Say again?
You prefer Michael B. Jordan's Torch over Chris Evans?
I heard a quote. The quote was, the only thing you can say about Michael B. Jordan's Torch as a positive is that both he and Chris Evans were not the worst things about their movie.
Yeah, that's true.
But you took a guy who was basically the butt of all movie jokes. Like, the Fantastic Four was terrible.
I mean, dude, even before Fantastic Four, what did he do before then? He did all kinds of weird, romantic comedy.
Oh, no.
Poking. I mean, all the stuff. Nothing.
He did a lot
ever
of
did
superhero
made me
stuff.
think-
Chris Evans?
Yes.
He's actually. He has. I mean, he's done a lot of. He has. He has real nerd cred.
The Loser. Oh, he's got a ton of nerd cred.
Yeah.
The
He did the Losers movie. He did the
favorite movies based off a graphic novel. Oh, that's so. Rue, you've seen The Losers, haven't you?
I have. I really like it.
Where he's doing that one scene and he's like pushing the shopping cart and the guy's like, "What?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I've got mind powers," and they're like, "What?" And he's like, he holds his finger guns out and he's like,
Oh, he was in.
and real bullets are taking these guys out, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the?
there's a sniper like 2 buildings away shooting, and he's like,
Oh,
man,
he was
that-
in
that
Push.
was
I
a good
always
movie.
forget he did Push. I like,
He did Push.
I like that
He
movie.
did.
that's what I was gonna say.
Losers.
Push was one of the best takes on superpowers.
X-Men before X-Men.
Yeah.
Like not just X-Men, just like a super powered movie.
I like that.
I
liked
loved
this
Push
movie.
so much.
Yeah, I liked it a lot actually.
I'm telling you, if you haven't seen The Losers, check it out
The
because it's so good.
And guess what, dude? Did help me out, Naru? Hunsao Dejong? How do you say his name?
Who?
The black guy, Dejoman his Huso. He's in every.
Oh,
everything.
Jamal Hunsu.
That dude's in everything. He was in Push too.
Yeah.
He's the African. He's the African nerd.
Bruh,
Jackson.
he's in-
He just shows up everywhere.
He works all the. He must work nonstop. He's in freaking everything. It's
Oh, man.
ridiculous.
Yep.
He's in so many.
So check it out.
movies.
Sarah Haley Finn was the person who felt that Downey's life experiences combined with his talent would make him the right guy to play Tony Stark.
Oh, that's funny because I had always heard that Marvel kind of
He
didn't
cast him.
want him, and it was Jon Favreau that was like, no, he has to be the one.
Yeah, Jon Favreau was the guy who was like, yeah, but Sarah Haley Finn was definitely involved in that process. It was she and him that really pushed for him.
Yeah,
They were the two guys and two people in his corner.
I just think that with the trinity of Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, and Robert Downey Jr., you could not cast better. You couldn't cast any better than that. So yeah, let's. Damn, we're going right back to phase 3.
Dude, we haven't really
It just
delved
keeps
into
sucking
that.
us in. I don't think we've taken time really to understand
Everything.
Endgame, and I think we need to go to therapy, guys.
What do you think this show is?
Well, true.
Ah,
Nerd therapy. Maybe we're just gonna change the name.
then there's a therapy.
So, yeah, gosh, I'm still reeling after that Captain America retirement. So
It was dope. It was so good.
I actually got back into the gym so that way I could get back to Captain America
Hey,
fighting shape.
There we
so
go. There we go.
maybe I'll be the next Cap. Good.
The next what? Capsicle?
Yeah.
Capsule?
I'll be too old
Cappuccino?
at that point, according to Naru. So Naru's never getting cast in a Marvel movie. Actually, Naru could be like 60 and still looking 20. So
It's kind of
he could
ridiculous.
be cast tomorrow.
I mean, don't hate, man. Don't hate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's stupid. Here Naru is 60 looking 20. Here I am 19 looking 80. All right. So last thoughts on Phase 4. What character do you want to? Who do you want to be revealed in Phase 4 most? Like the little Easter egg reveals.
See, I don't know enough of the
Marvel
B,
Universe.
C, D list characters to really guess like that. So go for
Go
it.
ahead. Do you have
I'll
one?
just go ahead and say it. I want to see Cyclops done right.
Shit, that would be good.
I want to see Cyclops done right. Like
Okay.
they've so overshadowed him with all the changes to his character because of Wolverine in the comics and in the movies, and then they went from the movies and went back and made it even worse in the comics. I'm like, The Cyclops I knew growing up was pretty much Captain America of the X-Men. It was a compelling character. Yeah. He was the guy you want to get behind. You know?
The only thing I have to say is, MCU, please, if you never listen to our show, listen to this. Do not ever cast Wolverine, period. Hugh Jackman is done. He is the best Wolverine of all time.
That's tough.
I disagree.
I think I'm with Naru. I think
Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
I agree with that, but I think we're gonna have to get a new Wolverine. We need to do a whole episode. We need to do a whole X-Men episode. Next time there's no news going on, we just need to do a whole like who we want to play the new X-Men movie.
Oh gosh.
Because you got to bring Wolverine, baby. Like, there's just no.
He's one of the best characters, but I
Wolverine's an Avenger,
dude. We need to cast both actor and character X-Men versus Avengers. That's what we need to do.
Okay. Tank, which character are you looking for, buddy?
Like I don't know. I mean, I want to see. I want to see the Fantastic Four. I want a good Fantastic Four, and if they can find some way to hint at them in Far From Home, I'll be down.
I want, and it's not too far of a stretch, but I've read so many articles saying that they all disappeared in the snap, but then that means they could come back now after Endgame. Because we got Jarvis, so why the fuck can't we get Daredevil, the Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist? We could get all of them. I think Daredevil and the Punisher, even it just as Easter eggs. I don't even want them to have their own movies. I just want them as Easter eggs. If you had a Daredevil Easter egg in Homecoming, you know how great that would be?
That would definitely break the internet.
It would break the internet. That's for damn sure.
Because so Jarvis was the one thing, right? They were like, oh, there are no ties. You know, this huge event, and there's none of the Netflix shows, none of them, but they are in the MCU,
right?
But none of them were there.
Neither was Agents of Shield.
If all four disappeared in the snap, means they came back.
Yeah.
So Far From Home could be a tie-in or an Easter egg. Like, I don't even want a movie. I just want the Easter egg of Daredevil, where
just mention your name.
Leaving. Yeah, where Spider-Man's leaving, and right, like those cops. We saw it in the trailer where he's like, I'm going on vacation. You know, what if just like Captain America's shield scene where they left out the shield altogether until you got to the movie, right? What if he's like, you know, I'm going on vacation. Why don't you guys just leave it to that other guy? You know, the Devil of Hell's Kitchen or whatever. And he bounces. Just that Easter egg. You don't even have to cast anybody. Are you kidding me?
All you need is for Spider-Man to bounce, and then one of the cops say, that dude's a smart mouth. And the other guy goes, hey, he's nicer than that other guy in Hell's Kitchen.
Yes. Just mention Hell's Kitchen. Like, that's all you have to say. Like, oh, yeah. Well, he's better than that dude in Hell's Kitchen. Like,
I don't know.
Perfect. Or, you know, like what Naru said or what I said, just that little thing where it's like, hey, I hear there's somebody in Hell's Kitchen you can call. And he bounces. Like, we don't have to get a movie. That just shows, like, hey, all one piece.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Puts the puzzle together, and Jason is a happy boy. Because I know Daredevil Season 3 was a bit rough, okay? But let's take Daredevil Seasons 1 and 2.
And let's be honest. I mean, some of the power sets in that stuff, you know, it's pretty good. Like, Daredevil's power set, like, right now, if you're reading War of the Realms, Daredevil is literally the guy helping, you know, direct everybody through the Asgardian, through the Rainbow Bridge. Yeah.
Which, by the way, is War of the Realms is written by some of the biggest podcasters. They do that adventure Dungeons and Dragons show. What is that one called, Tank?
Oh crap!
They were at Dragon Con.
Yeah. Adventure Zone.
Yes. The brothers that write that and do that show.
Really?
Yes. That's why it says the whatever brothers.
I didn't even notice
I
that.
just found that out today.
That's
and
cool.
I was like, that's why it's all like mythical creatures and shit.
Because man, there's a whole lot of mythos in there. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is deep. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
flip, whoa,
Dungeons
flip,
and-
flip, whoa.
Whoa.
I mean, there's a dead flying horse on a
Wait.
spike. And
Wait. I think we all need to read War of the Realm. Yo,
I'm already doing
Dungeons and Dragons Marvel heroes.
I might be down.
Yo. Yo, I'm so in right now. Like,
Are they laying the groundwork for an epic D&D? They might be.
Yo.
There might be an epic crossover.
No, like I saw the cover, man. Like,
Jason just blew his own mind.
no, yeah, I did. Because Captain America in the cover has his shield and an axe,
Yeah,
right?
that's dope.
And then like everyone has like this barbarian suit, and Spider-Man even has like a little dagger. Spider-Man is the fucking rogue.
Yeah.
Brandon is our Spider-Man. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
Oh man,
I'm down.
I don't even know.
I'm down.
Oh my gosh, I just blew my own mind.
Jason had to sit back. He's like, I need a second.
I need a second.
I need a cigarette. Hang on, I'll be back.
There's something better than sex, and when you can tie Dungeons and Dragons and the Avengers on a show called The Nerds from Work, fucking suck it, Trebek. All right, guys. So on that fucking note, why don't you tell them where they can find you, Tank?
Yep, you guys can find me all over the internet at the Cape Critic. If you guys are in the Atlanta area, we will be doing some shows here soon. We have a show in
Atlanta Comic-Con
in June and Dragon Con in September. We don't know. We don't have exact dates and times that we can give out yet, but we will be at both.
Atlanta Comic-Con, Dragon Con.
So if you're around, come check us out. Naru.
Yeah, if you are looking to find me online, you can find me at TheNerdsFromWork on Instagram, on Twitter. That's about the only place you can find me like that. Apparently, it's not that much fun anymore on the other place I used to be on. I'm not going to name it. But yeah, anywhere else you run into me, please don't try to connect with me because I will not be friendly.
Well, that was rude. Hey, you guys can find me at Houdini0333. I'm always friendly. Unless you're trying to talk to me in person. But you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter. You can find all of us at The Nerds From Work on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And also you can find us on Twitch, streaming every Tuesday, 9 o'clock, live. So you can hear all of these shenanigans and even get a shout-out. Oh, gosh. I don't know why you would want a shout-out from us, but you can get one. You can also find us on Patreon, patreon.com/TheNerdsFromWork. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nerds From Work. They don't like the word "the," but from all of us at the workplace, peace.